Hello everybody, my name is Cap and I'm going to be going over how to defeat the Pileated Snagret with no sprays at the end of Snagret Hole, which is the scenario you will find yourself in if you're doing a payoff debt run. One cycling the Pileated Snagret is actually one of the more consistent things in boss fights. It certainly is not always consistent, nor is it always, well, the strat is consistent, but that does not mean that it is easy. And so I'm going to be talking about how to do it. So, the first thing that you'll know, the Pileated Snagret, like the Burrowing Snagret, will either come up quickly or it will come up slowly. Now, regardless of which one it is, your first instinct might be to just chuck purples everywhere. Unfortunately, that is a really bad situation for here because it will basically immediately dive. And you won't get that much damage, and it will really prolong the fight. So unlike most of the smaller enemies, just throwing purples at it will not solve the problem. So what you want to do is, as it pops up and to its final height, you want to throw reds at its head. And while you want to do that, you will want to adjust the cursor below the shadow of the head. So, you know, you can throw, and then of course I can light touch so that while I'm throwing, I'm moving the cursor. So what I want to do is, while I'm doing reds, I'm going to be slightly adjusting the cursor so that it's just under the shadow of the head of the Pileated Snagret. And then after I do that, it will, if I'm just not rapid throwing, but just quickly throwing reds onto its head, it will rear its head back and scream and begin to eat your reds. This is normal. In order to one cycle it, you do have to sacrifice 3 reds to be eaten. But as it's eating, that is when you want to see stick forward and start chucking the purples like I'm doing onto its head, which you can do because it will be in the middle of eating. And if you do that properly with the correct cursor placement, the cursor placement is very important, you should zero cycle it. The important thing to know is that if it comes up immediately, you want to immediately start throwing reds to make connection with the head. If it comes up slowly, you want to wait and you want to throw some reds basically as it's doing this final lurch up from the slow get up. And you don't want to, because if you throw too early, then he's going to dive and you're going to have to do another cycle. Hopefully I can showcase what it means to, you know, have the good cursor placement and the good purple throws right now. So he comes up quickly, so I just start throwing the reds and I get my cursor right. And I got the stun, which was very lucky. But that was a 1 cycle. And you know, and of course, in this case, I actually got really lucky because of the stun. I didn't lose any reds. But the stun is actually very uncommon, so I'm actually going to restart this on purpose and showcase another example of me doing this correctly. Just because there is a 1% chance of stun. So, I think, but one thing that you can take from that, even though the stun was rare, is you'll notice how I started to throw the reds basically immediately on the come up when I saw that it was a fast get up, and that I don't rapid throw with the C stick until after he begins eating, and that's when I pile on the reds to do the maximum amount of damage. Maybe on this example he will do a slow get up, and I can showcase how important it is to wait in order to get the 0 cycle. Not 0 cycle, 1 cycle, my bad. Different boss. Yes, good, so I'm waiting until now. Cursor was right under the head, and I once again got the 1 cycle. And of course, as you see, he did eat those reds, as is customary. So I think this is a pretty good tutorial in the sense that I actually, because of the stun, I was actually able to conveniently showcase both the fast and the slow variants of how to deal with it, where in the fast you want to throw immediately, whereas in the slow you need to wait a little bit. But the important thing is, you want to make sure that your cursor is, at the back of the shadow of the Snagret's head while you're doing the rapid throws to get the purples on. Otherwise, the throws will not be Otherwise, you will not be successful. Even if your cursor placement is a little off, if you do this, you should at least be able to get it in 2 cycles, which, if you're learning, is still pretty good. But of course, as with anything, your end goal is the 1 cycle. But hopefully this guide is clear enough that you will be able to make steps on your own to get there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial.